An SEO audit is a baseline assessment of the starting point of your website regarding search engine optimization. And it involves looking at a variety of ranking factors. When I start an audit, well, everybody does theirs a little bit differently, but the way that I do mine is I start with user experience and architecture of the website. So I go to the website and get the first impression, click around on it, see like what does the hero section look like, kind of conversion rate optimization type things that I'm looking for, as well as just like the design and the messaging and the overall feel of the website, how fast it is, how clickable it is, and that kind of stuff. The architecture also needs to follow specific SEO best practices. So I'm looking for those types of things. Then after that, I'll jump into technical. When I do the technical section of the audit, what I do is I take your website and then I plug it into a variety of tools. I use SEMrush, Ahrefs, I use Screaming Frog, and then I'll also look at your Google Search Console data to see like for indexing issues. So I'll use those tools to see what technical issues might be affecting your rankings. The problem with using those tools yourself is that they show so much data, and the data is not always specifically relevant to helping you rank. So the key thing is looking at that with like an expert eye and knowing what is actually the most important things here. So like something that I always look for are things like broken links, internally and externally, and seeing things like if you have like redirects that are not working correctly, this stuff like that. So the technical stuff is one section of the audit. If you were to maybe go onto Fiverr or maybe even like a big agency and you would get a free audit, oftentimes you'll just get the technical portion of it. So you'll just have whatever they plug into one of these tools, and then that's sent to you as a document with every single thing listed on it. So it's not super ideal or user-friendly, but it's a part of the process of a larger comprehensive audit like what I do. So then after I look at user experience, architecture, and then I look at technical, then I start looking at the on-page SEO best practices. So for this, I'm looking at the actual content on your website. I'm looking at keywords, headings, the actual content and topics that you're covering, and all kinds of stuff like that. Next, I'll look at off-page indicators. So things like backlinks that you have, if you have a Google business profile, competitor analysis, and then any sort of like social media or other search engine appearances that you have. So a comprehensive audit will cover all of those things. In addition, since my service is not just an audit, but it's actually a full roadmap, I then take all that information and then I put it for you into a prioritized list of action items and the specific order that I think you should do them in to actually help increase your rankings. So it's a little different than just like getting a list of, oh my gosh, these are all the things that I need to do. But in fact, it's actually a list of these are the specific things that you should do, and you should do them in this order for the best turnaround and experience. So when I do my roadmap service, I actually follow up this full report with the action items with a one-on-one call. So we'll do a video call and we'll discuss the entire audit. We'll discuss the roadmap, the action items, and then I'll answer any questions for you. And then a lot of clients will check in with me later if another question comes up. Sometimes I'll send like little tutorial videos to them, like, oh yeah, this is how you need to do this, and I'll send a little tutorial video. So it's not just like a one and done, like hand over a report and be done, but it's actually a supportive system. You absolutely need to start any search engine optimization with an audit and a plan and a strategy. So I do this with every single client that I start working with. The first thing that I do is I do a full audit, comprehensive, digging in and a full strategy for them, whether they're going to implement themselves with the roadmap or I'm going to implement those things over the next however many months is required. So I kind of think of it as, let's say that you just jumped in and started optimizing, like, okay, I'm going to put keywords into my blog posts. Well, if you don't have that baseline information that you need about your website, like you might be plugging in the wrong keywords. You might be putting them in the wrong places. You might have, the page might not even be indexed to begin with. So why are you even optimizing it? So there's just a variety of things that need to happen before you just start jumping in and doing things. I kind of like to think of it as, say you wanted to renovate your kitchen, and first thing you do is you go out and you buy a bunch of new countertops. Well, probably not like what you would do if you're going to renovate your whole kitchen is first go out and buy a bunch of countertops. You might get the wrong amount of countertops. You might get the wrong style of countertops, the wrong color of countertops. You might get the wrong sizing, and that's going to end up costing you more, or you're going to have to go back and redo it later. So what you really need to start with those renovations is see how the kitchen is now and what changes are going to be made first. And then there's probably other things that you need to do before you even get to the countertops, like replace the cabinets, right? And figure out the measurement of the sink that you're going to use and the stove that you're going to use. So it's a very similar thing. Just like any sort of marketing, it's very data based. So the data drives all the actions. So you need to start with that data and you need to know what you're doing. The whole process takes about a week once we have all the assets in place. And at the end of the report, once I send you the report, we'll hop on another call and we'll go over everything. So we'll walk through all of it and answer any questions that you have. From there, you have multiple decisions. You could either take it and run and go off and do those optimizations on your own. Another option is you could also do it yourself, but with my support. So you can book to meet with me like once a month or once a quarter, and we can go over your data and the things that you've completed and see if there's anything that we need to pivot or change. And then the third option is you can hire me to do some or all of the work for you. So you decide, choose your own adventure. And so if you want to move forward with an SEO roadmap, or you just want to find out a little bit more, book a call with me. If none of the times work for you, you can just fill out the intake form and we'll figure out a time that works for both of us. And we'll hop on a call together and go through your website, your goals, all that good stuff. So I'm excited to get started with you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.